People, check it out. It's me, Brian B, here to introduce the Beeline Entertainment LLC.com. That's right, we got a whole supply of options for you if you're doing video editing, if you need logos for your business, you got that. If you want to watch the shows that we host here on the network, the Beeline Web Show, the Beeline Entertainment Show, and Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk with the STR Nation, we got that too. Join us, buy the merch, and check out the Beeline Entertainment LLC.com. Let's go! People, make sure that you go ahead and check out the Beeline Entertainment Stuff and Things shop. We got all merchandise that you're looking for, everything to promote the show. That's right, from hats to glasses to cups to sweatshirts to t-shirts, you name it. Boys, girls, babies, whoever wants to show off that they love watching the Beeline Entertainment LLC. We can't wait to see you in your brand new gear. Come on and check it out today. Let's go! For some reason, things are going on. I don't know what's going on, but a couple of things is going on tonight. But we still going to do a show here, and hopefully it all works out really well. I can't hear the sound effects and shit like that in my headphones, yo. Whatever. Yo, it's Tuesday, guys. Y'all don't want to hear about the problems and the drama and stuff like that. We got enough of that. But actually, we're gonna be talking some shit tonight. So hope you guys are ready. Sorry I missed last week. You know, just one of the times where we got a new baby in the house and got stuff going on, bro. We're trying to get stuff together. If y'all can tell, like I got spit up on me over here or whatever. I didn't even really tell when I was getting stuff together and everything today. But yo, check it out, guys. I want to remind you guys that it's a brand new week. This is the last week that I'll be posting this, unfortunately, but I'm very happy to say that this Saturday, baby, we're gonna be at Dragon Con over here in Atlanta. You know what? It's crazy. I don't even know. I keep forgetting the name of the building where it is or whatever, but like the government center or something like that. Some really important ass place. But yo, we're gonna be there, and it is gonna be a lot of fun. We're going to Dragon Con. We're gonna be conducting interviews. We're gonna be meeting up with people, doing different networking and making different kinds of content. So meet your boy Brian B from the Beeline ENT LLC. That's right. I love saying that shit. But we're going to be at Dragon Con this Saturday, bro. I'm going to be there like all day. I'm going to pack a water and a lunch and a soda and a snack. And then I'm going to go ahead and meet you guys, meet you great people, yo, that y'all like know a little bit more about. We got brand new business cards going to be passing out. And hopefully I'll come back with some new friends, man. Have some more people on the shows and be talking. Guys, I got a guest tonight, yo. I got a guest tonight. And listen, you know this guy very well because he hosts the entertainment show with me. And that's my man, Kyle, bro. Kyle is back in the building. I'm trying to get Kyle on a little bit more, man. And you guys really love our dynamic on the entertainment show. I really like our dynamic, how we talk, we vibe. We got two different perspectives, but we meet in the middle a lot on shit. So I think we have pretty good conversations. And I want to have some really engaging conversations on the show coming up. So as many episodes as Kyle, you see him on as many times he could be here. I'm really glad to have him. Shout out to Kyle. Definitely go check out A for Able. But guys, listen, I don't want to talk too much, so we definitely got a show to do. But yo, if you haven't already, please go ahead and like and share and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that bell button for the notifications and just let everybody know where we at, man, because we the Beeline ENT. We've been doing this for 6 years, man. It's crazy, bro. Every time I used to start an episode of the web show, it's like, yo, this is episode 5. This is episode 7. This is episode 20. But yo, this is like episode, I think it's 136, bro. And this is just of this show. Like, we still got Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk. That's going to be on tomorrow. We still got the entertainment shows going to be on Thursday. Bro, we got shows that are on the channel that we don't even do no more. We got a website. We got a whole bunch of stuff. But right now, this is the Beeline Web Show. Let's go! Straight to the point, baby. 3, 2, 1. That's right. That's right. All right. We got the new web show going strong. And we're gonna be updating some introductions and stuff like that, getting ready for the year to come in. We got a brand new year we rolling into. But listen, but without further ado, I know I'm gonna have to probably dip out of here and come back in a minute, but I'm gonna bring him in first, let him tell you about his show and where you can find him while I go ahead and fix my situation. But you know him from the ENT show. He's been on a bunch of episodes. Actually, I think about 15 episodes at this point. But it's my man, Kyle. Eric, what up, Kyle? Oh, Kyle, you muted now. Look, we just Kyle, we just got it going on today, bro. It ain't Thursday, so we don't know what the hell we doing. All right, go ahead. Take your time, bro. Hey, Beeline, we're gonna be fixing our little technical difficulties or whatever. While I do it, go ahead. Check out this promo for the website one more time in case you guys want to know where to find us. Check it out.
People, check it out. It's me, Brian B, here to introduce the Beeline Entertainment LLC.com. That's right, we got a whole supply of options for you if you're doing video editing, if you need logos for your business, you got that. If you want to watch the shows that we host here on the network, the Beeline Web Show, the Beeline Entertainment Show, and Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk with the STR Nation, we got that too. Join us, buy the merch, and check out the Beeline Entertainment LLC.com. Let's go!
Seems like everybody is having problems tonight, but nah. All right, for those who can, for those who can see me and hear me. All right.
I'm going over here, guys.
Hey.
I don't know why I can't hear anything. Whatever. I'm not tonight. Yeah, I know. I was hanging there. Hopefully you hear.
Sound kind of muffled, man. You okay?
I can't hear the damn sound coming out of the thing, but Kyle, hopefully you was able to tell them about A for Able, then what you've been doing recently and stuff like that.
And it's been a. First off, can you hear me? Hello? Is that a no? Okay. Man, everybody's audio is going off. Audio. Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. This happens all the time. Okay, not all the time. Most of the time. Man, it's frustrating. But it's part of the job. Mm. Yeah, sorry about this, y'all. Technical difficulties. Yeah, it happen all the time. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everybody's feeling good on this nice Tuesday. Nice Tuesday Tuesday night. Um, I've been dealing with technical difficulties all day.
Man, bro,
Still can't hear yourself?
I can hear me. Can you guys?
Hmm. You're a little distorted.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get this. I don't know what the hell's going on tonight, bro. But
Yeah,
anyway, welcome to the show.
right, technical difficulties and all.
Oh man, yeah. Hold on. Let's see if I can get. Let me see what I got here. Microphone. All right. That. Let me close out this show here. Maybe that'll help. All right. How it sound now? A little better.
A little better.
There we go. All right. I'm gonna rock with the iPad tonight, man. I don't know what's up with my equipment. I've been changing stuff around a little bit or whatever. But Cal, man, it's not Thursday. You on the show with us? What up, bro?
I'm doing all right. Yourself?
Pretty good, man. I was shit. I wasn't expecting that whole introduction. I was talking about how I got the baby spit up on my shirt or whatever. But
Hmm.
yeah. But
Yeah, I saw that, but it comes with the territory, right?
yeah, bro. Ain't nothing like having your child ooze that little white stuff out. Ugh, sounds disgusting. It's horrible. But
Yeah, it's life.
yeah, it definitely is life, man. But what you been up to, bro? Anything new today?
Man, so last night I celebrated Babe's birthday.
Ah, yep. Happy birthday, Ty.
Yeah, happy birthday, Ty. Man, we just had a good time, man. We
Good.
talked. We talked. We hung out. We just had a nice date, night, day. All of that. Ended it with some cake.
There you go.
Introduced her to a new show. I introduced her to some new anime. She's
Okay.
she's not like as big of an anime fan as I am, but it was something that made me go, you know what, the show I'm watching, it seems like it would be right up her alley. So
Got it.
so we watched a few episodes. We watched a few episodes of that. Before that, we watched the new season of the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, and
Oh, that's right. That came. I forgot that came back out too. They're remaking everything.
but you know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is? Like Disney does not really put at least from my perspective, it doesn't put the money behind it to promote it. Like they're 3 seasons into the new show, right?
Okay.
And they told you about it when it would, like when the first season came. By the second season and the third season, they just started yeah, we're gonna put the whole thing up there. We're gonna give you like one or two previews, and that's it. Watch at your leisure.
Yo, listen, man. I remember the Proud Family. The Proud Family was still one of the shows that was coming on. Of course, an all black cartoon, which is awesome. Tyler Pratt. That was one of the ones that started coming on right where I was starting to kind of transition to not be watching as many cartoons as I used to as a kid. So it's
Mm.
like I just missed that was like Proud Family, even kind of SpongeBob a little bit. Like no, SpongeBob people forget was a '90s cartoon. I think we talked about
Yeah,
that.
that was that SpongeBob was 1999.
Yeah, right at the end, rope there. But
Mm-hmm.
Proud Family, I missed out on. There was a couple of ones that I kind of had just kind of not all the way, but just kind of stopped watching comics and stuff like I mean, cartoons. That's
Mm.
my but yo, listen. Speaking of like speaking of a couple of things you were talking about, how
Yeah.
did you enjoy your going out experience? Like, where did you guys go? Like, did you guys have a good experience, or did you wind up be like, damn man, we just spent all this money?
It was we told each other like she told me that the only thing she did not want to do is be home all day for her birthday. That was it,
Okay.
right? And
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, how about we go like I had little plans, but that was it, little plans. Neither one of us really we acknowledge our birthday, we celebrate our birthday, but I figure I'm not going to do anything until milestones hit. So when I hit So when I hit 40 in 2 years, I want to party. That's what I'm gonna do,
Yep.
right? And she said the same thing I said on my birthday. All I want to do is spend time with you. That's it. I don't care what we do. I just want to spend time with you, and that's what we did. We talked. We watched TV. We got some cake from this nice place right across the street from my house, and we just had a good time. But
Yeah.
time went by so fast.
Oh man. Yep. That's how it is when you're having, especially when you're having a good time.
Yeah, exactly. It went by so fast. We did get on some like we did get on like some topics that it was like, man, they ain't telling like me that like there's certain things going on today that make me rant a lot more than I used to, right? Same and the same thing, and the same thing with her, and we just let each other get out whatever we needed to get out. And technical difficulty episode.
Yeah, I think I finally fixed it. Sorry, I got this. Let me take this out of here.
There's a slight
But,
echo there.
yeah, good old iPad
Mm.
ran in. All right, I'm good. I'm good now, guys. Sorry, had to get
There
some
you
shit
go.
together. But yeah, no, I was listening to you. Like you said, you rant a little bit more than you used to. So when you get on the topic, you ready to talk. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk with you, bro. Because we have good conversations, man. It's like it's not. You talk to some people, and some people will give you part. Some people will give you part. Some people won't want to get invested. Some people, a lot of times, especially if it's something like serious shit, people don't
Yeah.
want to think about that shit. They don't want to be like, oh man, this is doom and gloom. I don't want to discuss this. No, sometimes you do want to discuss that shit. Like you want to dive in further, get people's fucking mind states on stuff.
Yeah.
But
You want to like, and sometimes you just want to vent. That's
tell you,
it.
yep, that too.
Sometimes you don't want to vent. I've had plenty of conversations with friends where they're telling me how they're feeling, and my mind wants to come up with a solution. But sometimes you just want to get things out. You don't want a solution. You just want to, you just want to get it out as
Exactly.
you're feeling it. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was asking about like, it's cool that you guys stayed home and like kind of did stuff but we do the same thing, man. Me and my wife, like I know I've talked about it before.
Yep.
But we'll have a whole plan, yo. We'll have a whole plan to go out, the restaurant, we'll have everything, clothes picked out, like let's get dressed up, let's do this. And then we get to driving and we start driving. There's been a couple times we start driving literally and turn the fuck around and be like, nah, man, let's stay home. Let's go to the store. We'll go to Walmart, pick up some steaks. I'm talking about pick up some steaks, some peppers,
Yeah.
make some mac and cheese and some dessert.
Yeah.
Pick out a couple movies.
Yeah.
Take the kids to go upstairs, stay upstairs. Don't even come down here and bother us. And yo, we be good, man. We be good. Save money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Like those intimate times at home, like those intimate times at home. I'm just happy that she wanted to spend her birthday with me.
That's right. Yeah. That's awesome.
That was it. And same thing with she spent my birthday with me. Like I said on my birthday, which was back in June, all I wanted to do was spend time with her.
Yeah.
We did go to a restaurant for lunch, but we talked for most of the time. We just talked to the point where the staff was breaking for lunch about to set up for dinner, and they just let us sit there in the dark.
That's awesome.
And we just sat there in the dark and talked, and that was it. We're very like simple in that way.
It's awesome, bro. It's awesome. Yeah, trust me, man. I wish you guys lived a little closer, man. We'd invite y'all over. We do karaoke. We do game nights, bro. Monopoly. Oh, listen, don't catch us on a Monopoly night. We'll be playing all damn day out here.
Man, my family, we have game nights on we have game nights on occasion. I go to my mom and dad's place. They only live a few minutes away from me, so I just walk. And sometimes we'll have I think the last time was my stepdad's birthday, right?
Okay.
And and somebody pulled out the Uno cards, right?
That's devastating right there.
And they had Yo, on somebody pulled out the Uno cards. This is one version called All Wild.
Oh
Right?
man, yep.
I didn't get to play it because I had to, because I had to leave. I was there for a few hours, then I had to leave because I had people coming over. But and then before that, somebody pulled out Uno No Mercy, right?
Oh, I've heard of
And
that one.
dude, listen.
It's like a wrestling event.
If you pull out, listen, if you pull out Uno No Mercy and you pull out a draw for, like they'll have extra steps on a draw four,
Yeah,
right? They'll have
yeah.
they'll have extra steps on a draw four. There's exclusive cards. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, switch. Everybody dump their cards, switch their cards, or or you like. There's other stuff you got to do, and it makes it more challenging and frustrating, and all
Okay.
in all of that. That's why it's no mercy,
Yeah, I'm
right?
down. I'm down for that. We
And
like my wife is competitive. Even my kids are competitive. So it's like when we play with them, they're shit. They go all in. They're 15 now. They know how to play for real. We don't got to
my
be easy on them no more. We play spades. We play all that shit.
my mother and my sister are the most competitive, right?
Yeah.
They like my mom likes to trash talk, right?
Oh yeah.
My
Listen.
mom likes to trash talk to get to get people riled up. You know what I'm saying, for the game. We'll play games like yeah, like I haven't played Monopoly in a minute, but they'll play
Oh,
Scrabble. They'll play they'll play Taboo. They'll play
taboo. That's my other shit.
they'll play Uno.
What up,
One of these
Tar?
it huh.
She has to go. We talked about it. She on
Uh,
just
yeah,
chiming in. Thank you both for your birthday wish. Hope all is well. All is well. Thank you so much. Happy birthday for real.
baby.
But Kyle, man, listen, bro. I'm glad we were able to start the show, guys. Sorry so much about the technical stuff, but
Yeah.
it happens. It happens. It is what it is. Um, I was supposed to do this episode last week, and I had a little bit more drive to do it last week. I've kind of took a chill pill and been able to kind of chill out a little bit, but I still want to talk about some things. I think it's kind of an important thing. Now, I'm gonna play a video, and I'm not trying to be like a what's it called when somebody I'm not trying to show my vanity or whatever. That's just
Yeah.
it's my video. I posted a video last week. This will give you a little bit more of an understanding about like why I wanted to do this episode this week. And you guys tell me what you think. I'll try to skip through like the first part of it.
Okay.
Holy shit, I think there's a cricket in my garage. All right. Here's the video. Let me get everything queued up. And then Kyle, you'll kind of chime in however you like, bro. I know he's kind of throwing out there what I'm talking about today.
Okay.
But I got a lot to say about it. It's gonna be a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold up. Just getting the good old TikTok. Hopefully this all plays with no problem because that hasn't been the luck today. All right, check it out. Man, I'm making videos today. I can't wait to do my show tonight. I'll tell y'all right now, I'm gonna have a really good show tonight. I got a lot written on your fucking chest when you're walking on. All right, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Everything that you go through, everything that you experience is written on your fucking chest when you're walking down the street. You don't live in that world. We don't live in that world where we're mental fucking mind readers and everything that is, your feelings, your pain, your ideas. We don't live in that world. It's all like visible to everybody when you walk past. So keep that shit in mind when you're trying to use your own personal drama, trauma, experience, situation. Keep that shit in mind. Yo. People really need to keep this shit in mind. At the end of the day, people need to wake the fuck up to this. Once you are 18 years old, once you're 18 years old, that is the um, um, complete understanding by by everybody that you are now responsible for what you do. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter your feelings on that shit. It doesn't matter your thoughts on that shit. You are responsible for your actions. You can blame the whole planet for why you do this, why you did that, why it's this way, why you should understand it that way. You can do all of that. At the end of the day, you're responsible for your own shit. Don't nobody care. Don't nobody care or
have to care about your own personal bullshit. Simple as that. Everybody got bullshit. You feel like your bullshit is more important than somebody else's bullshit, then guess what? Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. I be watching videos, and that's probably because I watch TikTok and shit too much. I ain't gonna lie. But at the same time, it doesn't change the truth in this statement. I know people will want to argue. I know people will argue. But I don't know. I just feel like as I'm getting older, more and more understanding of just 9 out of 10 arguments, man, are all because of how people feel. It's not even about like factual points. It's about how people feel. And it's getting to a point where, getting to a point like we've been at a point because we can always argue. We can argue about anything. Everybody is demanding to be heard and understood at all times over any kind of like, substance to what they're speaking about. They just more than anything just want to be heard. And that's why I feel like things I feel, see, it's my feeling. I feel like things are so dangerous now because nothing has to make sense. Nothing has to, be a fact, nothing, anything along those lines. Everything just has to be an understanding.
All right. All right. All right. Sorry. Wake up, guys. Wake up. I know it's kind of long, yo. I wanted to let it play because I made that video after I watched a video, and I can't remember, honestly, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know it was along the lines of a lot of times I'm watching a lot of these videos where you see the cop body cam footage,
Yeah.
and you'll see like a lot of situations that these cops be going through, bro. And I know, I know when it comes, I'm just gonna say this. I hope that some people can understand where I'm coming from. I know that when some people, especially black people, talk about cops, it's a very touchy subject. For good reason, unfortunately. But still, like at the end of the day, we also got to understand like these guys go out and they put their life on the line in a lot of really dangerous situations. If something happens, they're the motherfuckers that you want to call. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you got ghosts in your house and you got Ghostbusters number, you know what I'm saying? You got, if somebody breaks in your shit at the end of the day, especially if you ain't able to protect yourself the way that you would like, you want to hit 911 and have a person out there who's going to try to help protect your ass as fast as possible. But I watch a lot of those videos and I see a lot of just really, really ignorant shit, bro, from all types of people, young people, old people, black, white, everything. And it just blows my mind, like, the things that you hear people say. You know what I'm saying? So Kyle, before I get like deep into it like that or whatever, you just watched like what I was saying. That was kind of my headspace. That's why I was like, so I kind of had like I was geared up from those videos I was watching. How do you feel about the topic, man? How do you feel about just like I don't know if you want to call it entitlement. I don't know if you want to call it people's I don't know. I don't know. Like, the people running with their emotions, not being able to, regulate them. I don't even know. How do you feel?
I think that is what it is, right? Like to be honest with you, dude, like when you are trying to like you're trying now it's not now some people do it because once again we're just trying to be heard. Others are trying to get something out and they don't know, and they don't know how. Unfortunately, that's regardless of age,
Yeah.
right? So like in my case, I've been in and out of therapy since I was a kid
Gotcha.
because of certain things that happened in my life, right? And then because so many things were changing and I wanted to be in a better mental health headspace than I was, especially when I moved out on my own, I I was able to get the help that I was searching for, right? So I would wait until it was I would go to therapy. I started like at least once or twice a week, right? And then there was a time where I would save up all the frustrations I was feeling at the time, everything I was doing, and I saved it for therapy,
Mm.
right? And they helped me get to where I am today. There are there are times where you have to learn to, if you can, learn to regulate it. They call it
Yeah.
emotional intelligence, and that's one thing that I'm personally working on. As far as as far as other people, I can't speak on for every other, but as far as the cops go, right? I've spoken to cops. Like I've got cops in my family,
Yeah.
and there was a time when I was a kid and I would see kids my age or older say they don't like cops for one reason or another. Maybe they had a run in with the cops because they were doing something they weren't supposed to, or maybe there was a misunderstanding, or maybe they had people in their family who unfortunately made decisions that led to them getting arrested or other stuff.
Yeah.
And also, there are times, so many times, now that we see more of it now than ever before, where the cop may be in the wrong, but
Yeah.
because they are protected by the law, they feel like accountability. Like we talk about accountability and stuff all the time, but there are laws that protect cops.
Yeah. In
You know
higher
what I'm saying?
ways.
From
Yeah.
so it's like, how are you going to tell us to be accountable for our stuff when you can't be accountable for yours?
And
If a you know
that's
that's
also
the crazy part.
no, and you make a good point to jump on what you're saying. Like it sucks, man, because it's one of those, one rotten apple spoils the bunch
Exactly.
situations,
Yep.
because unfortunately, I really, really, really try hard, and this is with almost everything I do, bro. I don't try to just side and stay there.
Same.
I don't try to just, hey, this is who I am. This is my team. That's what I like. That's what it is. And then all of a
Same.
sudden, the next day you wake up and then that's like here, good example for us. Like, hey, I like this cartoon. That's my cartoon. That's what I like, and that's what I'm gonna do. And then another cartoon that's awesome. You're like, oh wow, I like that cartoon too. But I like this cartoon, so I'm gonna stay here. Like, nah,
Yep.
bro, I can like this. I can like that. I can understand that parts of that cartoon that I like. I can understand parts of it I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how I try to look at everything. Like, there's things that I like, that cops do. There's things that I know that they do wrong. I remember how surprised I was, and this wasn't even like I wasn't like a young kid or whatever. And this is gonna go deep. And if you guys don't know this, like, I mean, I'm not lying, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who definitely know what I'm talking about, plus way more. But yeah, man, when I started seeing, like, there was cops and stuff like that who were members of like the KKK and
Yep.
legit dragons and all that other stuff with the
Yep.
like the high authority.
Hmm.
And I'm looking at this shit, bro. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, some people don't stand a chance at all. And it's like, to have that affiliation and be
Yep.
able to still continue to be part of the force that is supposed to uphold and protect and care and respect and value the community and everything like that or whatever. Like,
Yep.
shit, you post something too bad on Instagram and fucking Target sees it, they're gonna fire your ass.
Right.
You feel me? Like,
Hmm.
and it's like, damn, it's like, knowing that that's out there, knowing that people are hiding their true colors, and it's scary. It's
Yep.
scary as shit. But that
Very
doesn't,
much.
to me, knowing that that's scary and knowing that that's out there doesn't make me turn or heel. And now I'm like, man, fuck all cops because of this doing no, just like you just said, bro. I had cops that I knew when I was younger. I had cops that helped me get out of trouble a couple of times,
Hmm.
literally, because I knew them from them coming to my store, because I knew them because of my uncle and shit he used to do. And so it's like being able to be open minded,
Yeah.
but still reasonable and understanding, and I do know that I am one of the people who, I don't know if that's regulation, if that makes sense, because like you said, Kyle, you used the perfect word, like emotional regulation and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if that's my version of it, or at least how I try to do it best. I
Yep.
just try to be as honest as possible, like with how I feel about stuff. So when I
Yep.
when I see a cop going through his day and somebody's like, robbing something or doing this, and I'm watching the person that's like, no, don't touch me. You're not gonna touch me. You're not gonna do nothing to me. I'm not leaving. I'm not doing nothing. And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, yo, how is this person that oblivious? You know what I'm saying? Like, how is there a person that has like so little intelligence or awareness in this current situation
Yep.
that you can just battle your point to complete failure? Like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the guy's telling you, like, hey, yo, if you don't get the fuck out of here, the guys want you out of here, you're gonna be arrested. I ain't going nowhere. What?
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe they trying to prove something to other people, or they trying to prove something to themselves. Because people, like when I was growing up and I saw people just trying to act tough,
Yeah.
Like I can't. I already know I can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Like I know I can't do that. Like people, like people know me. They don't want it. Like and and I consider myself to be a decent guy. And there have been times where I've gotten angry and I've gone off the handle and stuff like that and surprised even myself. But, I've seen people that's their whole mode.
Yeah.
They ready to fight. They're ready to get into some sort of trouble because that's all they've known, or that's what they've allowed themselves to be, to be open to. Like,
yeah, some is unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you're angry enough, you're liable to do pretty much anything, no matter, no matter what it is. If it holds some sort of danger to you or to another person, if you are angry enough and you are, and you're like in your you're like constantly in your emotions, then there's really nothing you can do. There are people out here till this day that still feel that way, So
Wow. Just like you're just saying, I actually just remembered the video and I'm trying to find it right now. We're gonna watch it so you can kind of get like an understanding of what I'm saying.
yeah.
Just like you just said right now, like one of the reasons why I made that video and I played it before we started having this conversation. Damn, I definitely got a cricket in here. Y'all hear him? He's singing too. He's singing. But one of the reasons was because of just that. That was the thing. In the video, it's a girl. I think she was in college, black girl, college girl. And something happened. I don't even know what happened because it started like with the cop coming and the cop's there and she's flipping out. No, fuck you. You ain't gonna touch me. Taking her jacket off, ready to fight the cops. Nobody's gonna touch me. Blah blah blah. Nobody gonna touch me. Nobody. And I'm looking at this shit and I'm like, yo, where the fuck are you, bro? Like, what do you mean nobody's gonna touch you? Like, these people are you're causing a disturbance. You're fucking literally like, you're causing a scene. You got shit going on. You know what I'm saying? At this point, the cops are needed. We don't know what you're gonna do. You're reckless and wild. You have to be fucking contained. And the cops are the only ones that we have available to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? If I do it, I'm locked the fuck up. Oh, you touched her. You shouldn't do that. Okay, fuck it. Well, you do it.
Yep. There's
at the end of
consequences.
It's not. There's consequences. But at the end of the day, at the end of the situation, I remember. I'm gonna try to find a video still, but I remember there was somebody that was there, and somebody was like, "Oh, you have to understand. She's acting like that. She doesn't want to be touched because she had something happen to her. She had like somebody touched her inappropriately or this and that happened." And that was where I kind of made that video that I was talking about on TikTok, where I was like, basically just kind of airing it out, yo. The truth. I mean, that's why I said everything I said. Like, there's gonna be a lot of people who don't agree. There's gonna be a lot of people. You have to understand. She went through something. You don't understand it. You're absolutely fucking right. I don't understand what she feels. And you cannot expect the world to understand everything you go through. That's the shit that I do understand. You can't have your reckless and endangering and dangerous behavior be a burden to everybody else that you involve your life with. Same way a killer or a person who was abused can't go forward and abuse someone else. Bro, listen, I'm just that's what I'm saying, Kyle. I'm stating fucking facts, but you will get a lot of heat. You will get a lot of conflict and people just literally just throwing themselves at you because they don't feel like they like what you're saying, not
Yep.
because you're not saying some right shit.
Yep. It's
But
it's one of you're 100% on that. Now, on the one hand, just like we said, like in this case, it's yes. On the one hand, we do not know what she has gone through personally. We don't know if she's obviously triggered by something.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But that doesn't excuse what she's doing.
exactly.
Right. So you have to understand that there's like, and I feel like if I ever have to say this to like anybody that I'm because we're the older generation now. If we gotta
Really,
say, and you got kids, so you've probably already said this very sentence. There's consequences for your actions,
for your actions.
right?
That's it. You know, I
So
said it
it's like yes, we can feel bad for you, but at the same time, look at what happened as a result of
exactly.
you acting on. Like I can be sympathetic towards anybody. I've we've met people who have gone through some horrific stuff,
Dramatic
and
shit. Yeah,
they've used vices to they've used. That's probably why some people drink. That's why
that's right.
somebody smokes. That's why some people goes out and go out and like and have, and I don't know, has like sex with so many people because they're trying to numb the pain. But
Yeah,
that
that's right.
doesn't that might be why somebody just went ahead and just started robbing people or whatever because they didn't have a good upbringing.
That's
But that
right. That's
doesn't
another excuse right there. Could that's potential.
you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't excuse what they've done. We can sympathize later, but at this point, you still have to understand that there are consequences,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that it's a constant balancing act. I want to know after you've already done after you've already done the thing. I am curious as to know why. And there are times where there's a deeper meaning, and then for some people, they just want to see what it's like. That's
Listen, yeah,
you know
that's ludicrous or whatever, ludicrousy or whatever.
like some people just want to do stuff because they want to see what it's like, or they saw it in a movie or something, and like
That's true.
you just want to know what's that like, you know.
Yeah,
It's a very it's a tightrope walk for some people. Like I've lived with so my great grandmother was a foster mom for like 30 years, right?
mm,
And yeah, my great grandmother was a foster mom for 30 years. And I grew up with a lot of foster cousins, you know, in and out. Some I never saw again. Some I would see later on. Others I'm still in contact with till this day. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But some of them told me their story of like
man,
why
that
they
could be a
started
lot.
smoking. You know, like
Yeah,
they told me their story of why they started smoking at age 15, or why they ended up in juvie, or why or at some point I saw my grandmother kick one of my foster cousins out on Christmas
damn,
Eve, kicks them
horrible
out
fucking
because they
story.
get into because they got into an altercation, right? And my nana, she wasn't gonna like she's a peaceful person. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Old school church going peaceful person. But she ain't gonna have anybody disturbing your peace. That doesn't mean she doesn't mean she doesn't love you. That
that's
just
right.
means that right now you cannot be here. So we
Yeah,
had to bring him to I think we had to bring him to a shelter Christmas Eve,
that's
right?
crazy, man. But you're
Consequences,
right though.
you know?
You can't allow somebody, unfortunately, man. And that's the whole topic right now. Like you can't allow somebody, no matter how deep their trauma, their situation is, you cannot allow that to be a crutch for them. You cannot allow that to be a reason or an excuse for them to be able to be reckless and wild and untamed. You have to understand she went through this when she was little. Listen, that's really shitty. Like that sucks, man. And I
Yeah.
genuinely am sad for her. But there's no way I'm going to allow her to continue to jump over this register at McDonald's and fucking throw the fries at everybody in the restaurant.
Yeah,
Like,
or screaming at, like just screaming at people or feeling some sort of entitlement because of one reason or another. I had a
Yeah.
woman cuss me out at the bus stop one time out of nowhere. She just started. She just comes up, right? I'm coming out the Y, right? I'm feeling good because I had a nice workout. Next thing you know, I hear a lady just starting to berate everybody around her, and then she looks at me. I start getting nervous. She thinks I'm recording her. I'm trying to take a selfie,
Oh
right?
man, that's
I,
fucked up.
she thinks she thinks I'm recording her, and then she says, "Oh, don't even try. You're not my type." I'm like, threw me completely off.
Bro,
Right?
listen, yo.
I'm like, this ain't got nothing to do with you, but now you're making it have something to do with you because everybody's got to hear her screaming and yelling about whatever.
That's right.
It could be anything. It could
Yeah.
be somebody in her family died, somebody abused her, somebody did, but she made the whole she didn't talk calmly. Everybody had to pay for whatever was going on in her head.
Yeah,
You know?
and we can't live like that, man. That was my point of making like the video that I made, because it's just when you see it, and this is another thing. This is another thing that people are liking to do a lot now. Um, we talked about this a lot on different shows that I've been on, as far as when you see a video and it's not real, it's fake.
Yep.
Maybe you can kind of tell that it's somebody um trying to pretend like it's a real life scenario,
Mhm.
and then people are immediately now questioning everything. So when they question it, you play a video, it's a guy and a girl on a date, and the girl's like, no, you're gonna pay for all my food, and then you're gonna also buy food for my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my aunt, my kids, the dog. And you're like, what the fuck is this shit? And they're sitting there arguing. They're sitting at the restaurant. Nope, I'm spending $3,000 of your money, and the guy's sitting there like, oh man, she's gonna spend all my money, and you can obviously tell it's some goofy shit. Then people will jump in the comments and immediately, oh, this is fake, 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 fake. Yeah, they're right, they're right, they're right. But the scenario is real.
It's
Like,
real. They're showing you that this could happen,
that's right,
and probably
and
more
has
than likely has.
exactly.
Otherwise, how would they come up with how would they come up with this in the in the first place?
Exactly. Just like TV, bro. We talk about entertainment. We talk about some of the shows that we grew up on, some of the shit that we watched that, yo, at the end of the day, we got a lot of values from. We got a lot of values. We got a lot of value. People like to talk about the bad shit, but good shows that taught you how to kind of treat people, how to treat each other, put the guns down, and all. You remember that episode of Family Matters with Laura got the new sneakers and
Yep.
girl got shot over the shoes and shit and all
Yep.
that. Bro, listen, everybody remember that traumatic. Remember when Will got shot with Carlton? Good night, baby. With Carlton and stuff like that, when they were at the ATM and they were getting robbed and shit.
Yep.
Bro, I remember all of that. That shit taught you values, bro. Taught you lessons.
Yep.
It
All of
wasn't real, but it was real life scenarios. Like, you can
it was
compare
real
it.
life. It was real life scenarios, or like
Yeah.
what's another one that sticks out of my head? Different Strokes.
Mm,
When
that's a
Arnold and his friend went to the bike shop, and the guy was trying to, you know, and
yeah. That was a big one back
and,
then, especially.
and the thing is, I believe I could be wrong. I'm always, like someone always like fact check me, but I remember seeing an interview with the young man who played Dudley, his, Arnold's friend. Apparently, if I remember this correctly, because this was years ago, it actually did happen to him,
Mm,
right? So I think that was like one of those like crazy moments where, like they're trying to teach you that this could happen, but I don't think they ever thought that the person that actually, that was acting, it actually happened to.
happened
You know
to,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's
Like,
a hell of a coincidence.
and while that is horrific, like I'm always willing to hear people out. I'm
Yeah.
always willing to hear people's stories. I've had one situation where a young lady, after losing her father, all she wanted to do was drink, right?
Yeah.
All she wanted to do was drink, and I did not know her. I knew we were neighbors, but we never really we didn't know each other like that. She tells me her whole story. And this is where you think she was trying to like steal from me. She could have done anything at that point. It was broad daylight,
Yeah.
right? But I heard her out, and she told me because we were right past the liquor store. We were right across the street from the liquor store. She's like, "Man, look, all I want is a drink. My dad died. I've been having a bad week. I lost my job. All I want is to drink." And I've been tricked before. I've been tricked out of money before. I've been robbed before. All this stuff. But something told me that this was real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something told me that this was real. So I listened to her. So I listened to her story. I gave her a hug, and I said, "I can't give you the money for the drink because that's not going to solve anything. All that's going to do is numb the pain. But what I can do is I can give you some money for a snack." Like what I did was we went to the corner store that was right there, and I just bought her some snacks, and we talked for a little bit, and then that was it. Ever since then, every time she sees me, she says hi to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You made a connection, and sometimes just that connection part is, what some people need. It could have been even what you needed, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, to do something in your life. But
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, man, because whenever you have conversations like this, you also don't want to come off like you're heartless, like you're not, relating to, people's situations and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that's the shit that I struggle with sometimes, man, because it's like I don't want to like, jeopardize my character by trying to just be this person who's always trying to be like, understanding and
Mhm.
overly compassionate, just because I feel like, oh, if I'm not like this, then everybody will think this of me and shit. I fuck that, bro. I'd rather you think I'm the biggest asshole on the planet than to think that I'm just gonna go along and just go with the fucking narrative. Like, I'm not doing that. And
Mhm.
I don't want to just, be the opposer either. Like, oh, listen, I'm gonna fight because I just, have to have a different side. But a lot of times I really do try to look at both sides of the fence, man.
Yeah.
And I feel like, because I do have that, at least as a character trait for the most part, like, unless it's obvious, I'll be real. I'll take it a step further, man. Something recently happened that I'm going to talk about a lot more tomorrow night on the wrestling show.
Mhm.
But the whole shit with Rampage Jackson and his son. You heard about that
I
with
heard
the
about that vaguely. I didn't go into it, but I did hear about it.
yeah, man, Raja Jackson, I believe that's his name. I know his name is Raja.
Mhm.
But Raja's Rampage Jackson's son. I mean, if you haven't heard about it, it's been all over the place,
Yeah.
especially if you're like a wrestling fan or a UFC fan. But yeah, he was he goes live on Twitch or on Kick, and him and Rampage do as well. And Rampage funny as shit, yo. I've been a Rampage Jackson fan for a long time.
Yeah.
Good ass fighter, fucking, very dynamic fighter. And since he retired, his son's like, 19, 20 or something like that, and he's
Mhm.
fighting and shit. He's not UFC or anything, but he's fighting, and he's learned from his dad, one of the greatest fucking champs. Um, but he recently went and did a spot in a wrestling promotion, and the wrestlers that he was doing the spot with, it was a guy named I believe Psycho Sky or Psycho. Sorry, I'm butchering the name. I wasn't going to talk about this tonight, but yeah, he went and he did some shit where the guy Sid or something smashed a damn can on Rampage's son's head, and he didn't know that was going to happen. He was like, "What the
Ooh.
fuck is this?" They were outside in the parking lot before the show, and once the guy found out, he was kind of like on some, I'm sorry, man, sorry. Like, to me, listen, I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but to me, the I'm sorry was kind of, everybody was standing around kind of laughing, and yo, Raja was pissed, bro. He was fucking pissed, but he
Mhm.
didn't do anything. He didn't do anything right there. So then later on, he was supposed to have a segment where he goes into the ring, and I guess he kind of, in wrestling, you have a thing where it's called a receipt. If somebody hits you too hard or they, get you, you give them a receipt. A receipt is basically like you taking your hit back. Like, you
Ah.
just laid into that shit with me, so now I'm about to give you a receipt for that shit, and I'm gonna lay in that motherfucker for you. And this was Raja's chance to give the guy a receipt in the ring, and boy, did he give him a fucking receipt in the ring.
Mm.
And he fucking picked him up, slammed him, and the dude immediately, when he got slammed, he was unconscious. But then
Oh.
Raja got on top of him and I mean just fucking beat the shit out of him, bro, in his
Mm,
face. Just
mm,
straight punches on your head is to the mat. You can't move. You're taking full impact of an actual trained fighter. And when
mm,
I tell you, it was fucking brutal, bro. It was brutal, and that's why it's got the internet uproaring right now. Unfortunately, bro, like it's under police investigation.
mm.
Um, it's a really, really bad situation, and I first did a video on that, and I
Yep.
was just talking about how like I was excited about it. I saw a video. You know how when they make these videos, they cut him up. They got different things going on. They was cutting it in with Rampage Jackson and then showing his son doing this. I'm like, oh shit. Like wrestling been fucking boring, bro. Like let's go,
Mm.
little Rampage. I want to see some exciting shit. And I saw it, and I know sometimes you get stiff, but the video I saw, he was punching him, but I was like, oh man, like he's giving it to him, but I'm like, all right, maybe they were just like, maybe they work, and I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go. But then I saw the actual video, and I really saw the video, and I saw like how it really was and what really went down. And then I saw the video from it, and I'm like, damn. If you got the ability to sit here and just fucking pound somebody's head into the ground unconsciously, and they didn't like, kill your kid or some shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, there's a disconnect, man. There's a
Yeah.
disconnect.
Someone needs some therapy.
You cannot just be able to get that mad over a situation. I mean, I get why he was mad. You throw a fucking
Yeah, I get why.
cane
No,
over
I
my
get why
head.
he was mad, but you didn't have to take it that far.
Yeah, it's too far. You got to be able to have the switch that cuts
Like
off.
you can be mad, but there are other ways to go about it.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's where the regulation like the regulation comes in. Like
exactly.
you if you're that mad that you're seeing red and you can't see any other thing but Hulk smash, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like there's gonna be some major repercussions for that. You know
no
what I
doubt
mean?
about it.
it,
Yeah,
it that's that's it. Like I feel bad that happened to him, but he escalated it at the same time. So it didn't really, from my perspective, because I don't know the young man. I don't know him. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I don't but also he's young. You know
He's
what I'm saying?
young. He's a
And
young dude.
he's a young dude, and like we're not even that old. But at the
I'm
same time,
saying.
like if that was one of us, right? I got lawyers and cops in my family. They'd have stuff on me for years, bro. And they
Oh
like
yeah,
to
man.
make jokes, but also when it gets serious, it gets serious.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
and he
that
he's a son of a fighter and all that too. I mean,
yeah.
it's very difficult. And
Then
like you
that
said,
goes
one
back on his dad. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's
hell
like,
yeah.
this is your kid. What are you gonna do?
And
You know?
of course, Kyle, not for nothing, but it's true. Of course, he's black, and the guy that he beat up was white.
See that?
So
See. That's one thing I was thinking, but I was gonna kind of try to avoid saying, but
you already know it. That's how it gonna
but
go.
the optics already look bad
That's it. That's how it
because
fucking goes.
this skin is already political enough.
Yeah.
You don't need to add any more to it. And then part like my mother used to do this all the time. When there was some drama on a talk show or in the news or whatever, she would say, "Please don't let them be black. Please don't let them be black. Please don't let them be black." And sometimes I'd be like, as a kid, I'd be like, "Why? Why you keep saying that, Mom? What's going
Didn't
on?"
understand, right? Yeah.
The older I got, the more I started to understand.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, they still lump us all together. As much as some people want to say that now white people are being oppressed and lumped together, whatever. Y'all still lump us together. It don't help
That's right.
when somebody reinforces a stereotype. We already got the reputation for being violent or whatever, or whatever. Look at what's going on in DC. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
DC, Chicago, California, it's a whole bunch of
California,
places now.
and they're blaming the kids, even though the rating of the rates of violence have been down forever. So it's like it's at least in DC, it's not up like they're saying it is. But
Yeah,
the
like
thing
it
is,
was. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, going back to my point, it's still going to look very bad if it's a person of color versus a white dude.
That's right.
You
No,
know?
no matter what, hate crime, versus somebody who's gay versus somebody who's trans. And whenever it's a different just like let's take it old school and just go versus somebody, boy versus girl. Like, that's going to be one of the most controversial fucking things that a man can do. If a
There,
woman can be punching you all up in your fucking face and threatening your mom and trying to kill your dog, and then you do one little get the fuck out of here, and then the man is, what the fuck, this guy hits women. And bro,
did you
listen,
hear about what happened between the guy? Like his wife was getting beat up, so the guy stepped in, and yeah.
I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna play the fucking video that I
Oh my
made
God,
for
you
it.
got it. Oh no, was that gonna be next? Did I just
No,
segue
no,
into
no, but
something you
I'm
didn't even
saying,
know?
like, I made a video about that, about what you was shit. You want to know what the fuck I would listen?
What would
I'll
you?
play
Oh my God.
it. I mean, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because, yeah, I heard that, and that's literally, I said the same thing. The husband, the three, there was like 5 women trying to fight this guy's wife. He got in. Shit, you ain't fucking. You think you gonna stand there and beat my wife up? Let,
5 against 1.
Kyle, let's
5.
switch it. Let's switch it, yo. Let's switch it. Since wife isn't good enough, let's be real. Let's be
Mhm.
real. Your mom. Let's say your mom. Your mom's outside, and there's 4 women. There's 2 women. Fuck it. There's 1 woman that's out there,
Uh,
and she's over here trying to give it to your mom, and she fucking your mom up. She hurting your mom and shit like that. Now, I'm not saying you gotta knock her the fuck out,
no, but
but
that's
I'm
my
just
mom.
saying, yeah, you might get tossed up in the air and
Yeah.
launched into the grass somewhere.
Yeah. Look. Yeah. It's me. I already know that but it's my mom.
Exactly.
I'm at least going to try. Now, I am not for, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather talk than throw a punch, obviously.
Of course, of
But
course.
you know what I'm saying? Especially since I know more than likely it ain't gonna do much. Like, you know what I'm saying? I haven't worked out in years, but
I
still,
feel you.
you know, but still, I've always been taught, do not hit a lady,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
I was taught, do not hit your sister. But it wasn't until my mom realized what my sister was doing to me, where she was like, "Look, pop her one good time, I give you permission." I still wouldn't do it because
Yeah,
it was
yeah, yeah.
ingrained in me. And my sister was hitting me. My sister used to like sit on my head and stuff like that because she knew she'd get away with it. And I'm the older brother. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
listen.
That was a different scenario. But if this was a spouse, my girlfriend, my mother, yes, I'm defending them.
Defend them.
I'm
Sorry.
defending them. You
Say
can't
what you want
use
about me.
at that point. You cannot use the you're stronger because you're a guy argument when it's 5 against 1 woman.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like it ain't even fair. If it was just one, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody fights fair. You ever hear those stories of like, oh yeah, we used to like with guys, if we got a problem with each other, we used to fight each other, and then that was it. Now we got people that are willing to just pull out a pistol at a moment's notice.
Moment's notice.
You piss off somebody one good time, they got a piece on them, pop pop. That's all they need. It happened twice near me,
Yeah,
right
that's how
at
it
the
be, bro.
freaking mall. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, the
so
mall like a fucking death trap now. I mean, you can never just go to the mall and without people fighting or doing some dumb shit, bro. I feel like that a
nah,
lot.
it's just like, once again, emotional regulation.
That's
We
right.
went from, now we were growing up at a time where they told us as guys, you got to keep it in, suck it up, all that stuff, right?
Man, I just had
Now,
this. We had a show yesterday. Eric invited me on a show yesterday
yep,
with a group of guys who we talked about just that,
yep. Mhm.
exact same thing. Like, what have you been taught to hold in and everything like that. But go ahead, yeah.
Man, I can't hold nothing in. My grandmother could.
Me neither.
My if I hold it in, all I'm gonna
Never.
do is yell, and
Telling
that's
you.
it. I hate holding stuff in, and it's been proven that has physical and mental. There's consequences for that.
There is.
You know what I'm saying? There's consequences for that, but there's also consequences for when you do not know any other way but that. If you're not taught how to regulate, if you're not taught that yes, your feelings do matter, but that doesn't mean every feeling you have to go out there and do this crazy stuff, just
That's
like you were
right.
saying early on, you
Yeah.
know. So what do you do now? In some cases, like there's this report I read not too long ago in school, and I forgot what state this was, but instead of detention for this particular class, instead of detention, when the kids get in trouble, they teach them how to meditate, and it's worked for them.
Mm.
It's worked for them. It may not work for every school, but I'd be willing to try. You
I
know,
mean, what's the harm in it? I'm saying,
what's the
like,
harm?
and shit, somebody who's been to a lot of detention, most of the time you're just sitting there, maybe you do your homework. But it's basically just to keep you grounded. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like grounded is exactly that. Like you're just supposed to stay in one place and not be able to really move freely. And it's not jail, but it's just a place that you have to be designated to until you're allowed to leave because of what you've done. It's the same as standing in the corner when you're younger,
yep.
timeout, whatever you want to call it.
It's
But
time. It's time out. It's time out.
timeout, that's
Now
it. Yeah.
it's also a like the school to prison pipeline is very real, and they
Oh
know
yeah.
this. They know this, and if you treat a like even okay, depending on what the prisoner has done, I believe that they either deserve a second chance or they deserve to be in jail for the rest of their life. But
Mm.
you have to know what exactly is the issue, because there are some people that have done heinous things that have only gotten like 3-4 years
Slaps
time,
on the wrist, even.
slapped on the like, slapped on the wrist. Or there are some that have done others, they're done small stuff like stole a little bit of money here and there, and they're getting like maximum sentences.
That's
You
what's
know?
crazy about the system, bro. Like even what we were talking about before about like the dynamic between cops and stuff like that. Like
Yep.
knowing that there's cops like within the system that are part of the KKK. There's cops in the system that openly have like
They got
domestic
gang
violence
affiliation
cases and
within they got straight
yeah,
up gang affiliation within the precinct. Like
that's
it,
right,
like
exactly.
like what? Excuse me? How are you a gang and a cop at the same time? But but okay, big ups to my dad. Okay, so my dad was a cop for 19 years, right?
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
He was a cop for nine. Yeah, he was aside of being my favorite DJ, he was
Yeah, I know
also
the DJ part.
he was also a cop for 19 years. Now he got hurt on the job, right? He got hurt on the job. He ended up having to get surgeries for it, all of that, right? So he had to retire early. One day, I asked him because he knows about my podcast and he's like a big supporter of it. I asked him, "Hey, would you like to be a guest?" He said, "Yeah," right? So I got a chance to talk to my dad candidly about what it's like being a cop, and
Yeah.
he explained to me because from what I understand, he hasn't as a black man who's also a cop, he said he didn't experience much of the racism part, but he knows he knows it's there. He knows it's in the system. And as far as those, cops, those trigger happy cops, a lot of them, they don't know what it's like to be from certain neighborhoods. Some just do it for a freaking paycheck. Some
Mm.
do it because they want to feel strong because they couldn't find anything else, and others like, okay, I'm gonna just do this for now, and then I'm gonna move on to something else. Next thing you know, they move them into like this guy may be used to the suburbs. They move him into the hood to patrol, and he don't know how to talk to people. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? He don't know how
Another
to talk to
thing.
people. He don't know how to act. He don't know how to act. My dad gets along with just about everybody, but not everybody's like that. So they have this mentality of they power tripping a lot of
Yeah.
the time.
Oh yeah,
You
shit.
know?
That's the stories that you hear openly, like
Yep.
whether they say a coward with a badge and all that stuff, whatever,
Yeah.
ready to pop off in any scenario. Yeah, I saw
Yep.
this video earlier, and this isn't no hate to the female cops out there, but I'm just saying, like, I saw a video earlier where it was like a compilation of, and like I said, I'm definitely no hate. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of tough women cops out there, but
Absolutely.
they were just showing like all these cops that were women and
Yep.
situations were going down and they were fucking panicking, bro, and 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 it really sucks, especially when they were facing like kind of a bigger guy and everything like that or whatever.
Yep.
It's see even this conversation right here, it's weird to have because you feel some type of way. You feel some type of way about saying something. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? There's some really strong women out there. There's some women who can take a lot of
Absolutely.
shit and stuff like that. But when you get out there in the field and you got to go up against somebody who's on fucking meth or PCP or just on a crazy adrenaline rush, and it's all hands on deck, and you my partner, and I'm fighting this dude, and I need that fucking assistance, and you ain't got the power to back that shit up, man. That's got to be a feeling that at least cops that go out and patrol together consider.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's got to be
Yeah,
a factor.
absolutely. Like both, whether you a male or a female cop or whatever. The thing is, we're all human, and
Yeah.
the way they train the way they train these cops, from my understanding, they're only trained for like a year or whatever, right? Or I think a little less than that before they actually get out on the field. If I'm
Mhm.
wrong, somebody please fact check me.
Yeah.
However, I believe now this is not the same thing across the board, right? Because each police, like each police force in different places in the world have their own ways of doing things. I believe in Australia, you're trained for much longer before they start giving you assignments, right? I honestly believe we should be trained a lot more, and it should be a requirement to go to like the therapist or the available doctor or whomever, because they go through a lot. My dad had heart episodes, all of that, and he looked at me and he said, "Whoa, this is common." I'm like, what you mean? Hold on.
Bro.
What you mean? This is common. And then I had to sit back and think about it. I was like, there's a lot of stress,
Bro,
a
there's
lot
so
of
much that you see, man. You're the
so
first responders, man.
it's very these jobs, like firefighters, cops, freaking in the army. If there's like any kind of invasion or anything like that, it's high intensity, high stress. You know
Bro,
what I'm saying? So,
Kyle,
yep,
I saw this video the other day on TikTok. This is shit that you can just watch on TikTok. No wonder we're all fucked up. Like, I saw this video, and this
right,
lady, she overdosed on drugs, and
yep.
she was pregnant.
Oh God,
And listen, bro, listen. Sorry, trigger warning, guys. Like, but she had the baby, and the baby was hanging out of her, and she was laid on the fucking street. And in the video, you saw it was the paramedics trying to resuscitate the baby with the fucking umbilical cord still stuck on her, hanging out of her. And to see, yo, listen, bro. I didn't go into the deep web to see this shit. Like I was scrolling through. I watched my little food videos I like watching when I'm eating and shit, and then I watched a couple wrestling videos, and then bam, right there.
you know, dude, dude.
Just saying, real shit.
Dude, this is like we are bombarded with so much more stuff now
Yeah.
that, but and a lot of that stuff is real, and then other stuff is embellished, obviously. But
That was real. That was
but
the
that
fuck.
was
It was the that shit was
man. I hope they're
yeah,
both
that
okay.
was real. Yeah,
Oh
that
my,
shit was crazy, man. That was
oh
but
my goodness.
I was saying that at the time we were talking because guess who was out there? The paramedic was out there, man. Can
Mm,
you imagine having that as your job and you get a call, hey, you gotta come. There's a lady out here who just gave birth and the baby's on the ground. She looks like she's passed out from drugs. And the baby's fucking laying on the ground. A fucking newborn baby, a precious innocent. And you see the first responder, the camera, the guy's recording. He's got a little thing. He's holding his little baby in his hand. He's squeezing the thing, trying to get life into this little baby, bro. That didn't do shit to nobody, bro. That shit will fuck you up. That's another reason why, like, when I talk to people, when I was talking to the guys that we were talking last night, it was like a men's mental health
yep,
conversation.
yep.
Where you come from
Yeah.
your environment, like you were saying, even with the cops. Like I'm from an area where it's like it was a little more ghetto, it was a little hood. It was like, there was definitely people around that remind you, like, hey, listen, if you want to go these routes, you want to drink, you want to smoke, you want to do drugs, here's an example of what your life can look like. Here's an example of a streetwalker and all this other shit, and gang life and gang mentality and this and that or whatever. There's a lot of examples. Here's an example of asshole cops and people sleeping on the fucking stairs when you're walking up to the train, and outside of your door, and there's a fucking bum who used to sleep outside of my cousin's door. Two girls living in a fucking apartment complex in the hood, and he used to sleep outside of their door. So it's like you see that shit, you grow up in that environment, and you have all of this mental shit that you just keep piling off when
All
you
that
open your door
anger,
every day.
like
Yeah, it's a lot.
it's it's a lot. It's a lot to like. In the crazy thing is, and I know you and we talk about movies and stuff all the time,
Yeah,
right? But the people that are actually living that,
shit crazy, bro.
man, it is nuts. Like I think the most I've experienced is stuff in school. Like there was a huge fight one of the last years of school between we okay. So I went to a school called Wilby High School. They had a sports rivalry with a school called Crosby High School, right? And at one point, it boiled over. There was I don't know what, I forgot exactly what caused it, but one day they wouldn't let me on the bus, right?
Mm.
I'm running. I'm just, getting ready to go, and this is when I had my leg braces on, so I couldn't exactly run. But
Yeah.
but the bus driver wouldn't let me on the bus, and next thing you know, I see somebody pull out a freaking bat, and they're like, "Kyle, run that way, run that way, run back, run back." I'm like, "What's happening?" And next thing you know, I see somebody pull out a freaking chain. I'm like, "This is not the freaking Warriors."
It was going in.
You know what I mean? This is not the
Battle
Warriors.
Royal.
Now, at the time, like where I live, it's got the hood, it's got some nice places or whatever, but we have a reputation for being ghetto, and and at that point, I'm like, that was not, and this was 2006. This did not help the stereotype. We were also
Yeah.
on academic probation. You know
Oh
what I mean?
shit.
We were on
Yeah.
academic probation. There was one
Been
cop
there.
that was the first time I ever saw a kid get put in a paddy wagon because there was like fights at least once or twice a month or more.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hell
So
yeah.
it was like, that's the most I've ever come to actually seeing that, seeing that kind of crap, that kind of environment. Like, yeah, stuff is gonna happen, but
Oh yeah.
that was something different.
Yeah,
You know?
no, man. Yeah, for sure. And it does take a toll, man. It's a lot of stuff. It also kind of, and I don't want to say strengthens you, but I mean, for lack of a better word, I guess. But it strengthens you in a way to like be prepared to see shit a little bit, or be able to take shit a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see some shit and be like, oh, this guy just got punched in his face and his fucking nose all busted and blood's gushing out. Like even when I saw the Rampage Jackson son shit, and you see this guy just brutally pummeling this person, that shit is not easy to watch, bro.
That's not normal, but it
Yeah,
becomes your, like, it happens enough, it becomes your norm,
normal,
and you
normal,
kind
bro.
of become numb to it. And I've been hearing the term becoming numb to things a lot more lately.
Yeah, we got
And
so much in our
because
face.
there's so much that we're exposed to, but then real life comes in and will literally sometimes punch you in the face, and
That's
you have
right.
no real like there's no real reason behind it, and it's just it happens. But I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah.
So okay, so you grew up in a kind of in a kind of rough environment, and you've said on multiple occasions that you're a little paranoid, right?
Oh shit.
Especially when it comes to your family,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So how do you prepare that? Now you have kids that are getting older, and you have one, and you have a new little one. But
Yeah.
how do you how do you, from your perspective, you know what I'm saying, prepare them for like the unexpected?
So a lot of times I'm frustrated. A lot of times I'm frustrated. Let me start there because, like you said, Kyle, like when you go through life, bro, we're not super old, but we're getting to the point where, yo, we've been through some shit. We've seen some stuff.
Yep.
No matter what, we've been on this earth for almost 40 years, bro. We've had some experiences. We know some shit. Um, when you're dealing with that with kids, especially now, like, going into the teenage years, and the dangers, and the same shit our parents probably went through. But when you know the different things, and you're now the person who's saying, guys, you have to be careful, you have to look out for this, you have to check for that, you have to don't talk to these group of people, don't get pulled in the bathroom so somebody can jump you, and there's nobody to protect you if you're in there, and don't get taken to the basement of the school and get stabbed up and shit like that. You see shit, and then you try to relay it back to them, but just like us when we were younger, or at least a lot of us, they don't listen. So as somebody who is super paranoid and who's constantly, like, every fucking opportunity, I'm the damn coach, instead of being like, even like, sometimes I want to be fun, but I always find a way, like, where I'm slipping something in. See, that's why you don't drive like that. Like, we drive my someone 5-minute drive to Walmart up the street. Every time it's something that happens. See how they driving? See, that's why you don't do that shit. That's why you watch. Every time you drive, you do this, do that. You better start driving. I want you to start learning this. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm that dad now. Everything is a lesson. Everything is a conversation. And I know he be getting tired of my ass. So I know he's like, Dad, can you just shut the fuck up? I know it, you know. But like you said, like, it's because of that. That's how I am. I'm constantly, in my eyes, trying to prepare them for the scenarios that they're going to face. And since I feel like I have a lot, which I think most parents will feel like they have a lot, because it's just kind of the world, how it goes. You want to try to save your kids, man. You want to try to give them, they got to have their own experiences, but that doesn't mean you want them to go blindly into the fucking, into the woods and shit. You want to try to help them, guide it as much as possible. And that's kind of how I do it, bro. I mean, on top of just like, listen, I've already taught my kids certain things. I want to teach them how to shoot a gun, but it's dangerous for certain things. They are, my son especially, he's very emotional. Um, because he's even though he's young, he's kind of had, like, tragic shit happen to him, with his mom and everything. So it's just like, it really does suck. And you want to protect them from everything, bro. It's like you always want to protect them from everything, but at the same time, a lot of reason why I am the way I am, because I wasn't protected from everything. Like, I dealt with a lot of things. I had to fight my way through some shit. I was also very loved and cared for, so I didn't have like a rough ass childhood. But I did have to go through shit a hard way, learning the hard way, making my own bad choices and bad decisions. But yeah, so this shit like that, man, really.
It's a very, you know what I recently learned? Okay, so a baby can inherit stress from their parents.
Oh man,
Like
yeah,
when they're just like born, whatever like whatever their parent is feeling at the time, the baby
yeah,
can inherit that. The nerves, all of that. So when you told me about now they can, it can stop, but also you never know what it's going to maybe one day trigger. Like
that's right.
I have for in my case for my CP, what I have is called spastic dysplasia. So my muscles are always doing this,
Okay,
right? I'm constantly stiff, all of that. And what I've noticed as I gotten older is just about every time I hear a loud noise, I jump.
mm,
Even if I don't mean to, I jump. I'd be the worst person to go to see a horror film with. That's another reason
right.
why I don't, because I'm jumping all the time, even when I don't even mean to. My first instinct is to, like, my body's instinct is to jump. If I see a needle or something, I jump,
Oh
and
man,
it's not even just like a regular jump. I mean, shivers, and I feel my muscles starting to tighten up,
yeah,
right? It's like it gets like that sometimes. Now when my mother when my mother was pregnant with me and she was about to have me, she explained it like it was one of the worst experiences of her life because she was young. She didn't know what her rights were. The doctor that was supposed to, be helping her wasn't available. All that stuff was
Mm,
happening, right?
yeah, that'll put you in a panic in
You know,
itself.
and they were scanning my brain and everything. And at some point, they pulled it out, and I jumped. Right? That's why I think I might have been, I might have had cerebral palsy because what I have essentially is brain damage, right? But, um, but now thinking about it is like, okay, that makes sense. She was put through a lot of stress,
Yeah.
and I ended up inheriting a lot of that, a lot of that stress. You
Man, that's
know,
that's interesting. I never even knew like that was the way that it's transferred or that's how it happened. My,
I'm just reading stuff. Like I'm
yeah,
reading stuff because I just learned about this, and I'm just now, and I'm reading it into my own life. Does this
yeah,
explain what might have happened almost 40 years ago? You know what I mean? I don't know.
yeah. That's super interesting, man. Listen, guys, it's been a really, really, really good episode, Kyle. I really appreciate you coming on.
No problem.
Like I know you heard earlier. I know I had some technical shit earlier, but we'll be back next week. Everything will be fine. But yo, we're gonna have some really, really good conversations coming up. Just to give you guys kind of a hint at some things that are coming. I know we're gonna definitely do an episode about stalkers. We're
Oh,
gonna talk about stalkers. Yeah, we're
mm,
definitely gonna talk about that because it's been some shit going on, and I kind of want to get some stuff off my chest. I'm not name dropping or anything like that, but I do want to talk and conversate about the different things that I don't think women understand that men have to go through too. Like as far as stalkers and stuff like that. I want to talk about that. I kind of do want to do have like a mental health after I did the show last week with the show I was on. Check them out. I wish I remember their names, but it's on my page if you want to see on Facebook. Definitely check it out. It was a great show. Great group of guys in there talking about just like different challenges that you face being a man. Um, and it's needed, definitely needed. Because we go through our shit too, man. We might not be super overly emotional with certain things. And listen, that's just our dynamic. You don't got to cry all the time to say how you feel and shit. But
it's okay to do that though, but it's like you gotta know. Once again,
regulate,
it's a
like you said.
regulate.
Don't be the whining kid that's crying about it. I'm sorry. It's cool to cry, but yeah, don't be crying over there and everything. You
I
gotta
was that
balance it
kid.
out. You
I
gotta
was
balance
that
it out,
kid, bro.
Kyle.
I was that kid. I'm dead serious. I was that kid. Every time I got teased, I
Yeah.
wanted to cry, or I did, or whatever, right? And
Well, that's a
and
little different. I mean, people
that was
fucking
it.
with you,
Every time I
bro.
got
If you don't, yeah,
every time something wrong, something went wrong, I always wanted to, and I started blaming myself. I always wanted to cry, and puberty came in, and it didn't help. You know,
yeah, yeah. Not, I definitely get it, and I know that's something else that's a lot different. Like that there's people have different personalities, man. Like you said, I wasn't always like the tough guy and this and that and shit like that or whatever. Believe it or not, I grew up kind of building that character because I got teased. I went through certain shit in school and different things where I wasn't really like that popular. Like I always had like a group of friends, but I always was able to like be confident, I guess, like in a way where I always was like cool with who I was. Like I didn't mind it. So even though you get teased, you get this and get that, I kind of grew up and I just learned how to kind of just like control it. And I definitely would fight. I don't give a fuck. I'll fight. Like
mm,
but it's just like as you get older, like when I'm teaching my son now, like I'm very big with teaching my son self-defense. And I would love to go spend $600 on fucking, jujitsu classes and this and that. But unfortunately, I don't got it like that. So what do we do? We come in here, there's like a gym over here, and he lifts weights and we spar, like we practice grabbing each other. I'm not a teacher in no fucking way, but we watch enough stuff to kind of know decent stuff. Look up some YouTube shit. We go at it. You know what I'm saying? It's
I've been
free
seeing
and
videos of a young father who has a 3-year-old daughter that's in jujitsu now,
it's
and she's
crazy.
and she's taking down boys
Yeah,
and she knows the forms and everything else, right? Because the thing is, like, unfortunately unfortunately women are still going through it as far as being treated like less than a lot of them, right?
that's
So it's
right.
like So it's so what do the dads do? They want to get them into some sort of like self defense classes or whatever. They
That's
got
right.
her in like early, like early, and she's winning. She's winning like real fights in her
Yeah.
class, and it's is crazy. And then there was this other. Speaking of stalker, there was a report recently of a young 13-year-old martial artist who took down a grown man who was trying to kidnap her.
Yo, listen, guys, we're gonna talk about it next week. So
Woo.
yeah, stalkers is gonna be the topic. Believe it or not, yo, tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we're back with the Wrestle Talk. STR Nation will be in the building, and we're gonna talk about a little bit of Rampage Jackson stuff. I'm sorry, but wrestling has been kind of boring lately. But we're also gonna have more discussions about like what's going on with Raw and SmackDown starting at different times. They're in different countries and this and that's going on and moving to different places. You don't even know where to watch the shit. We're gonna have a lot of discussions about that. We talked about it a little bit last week as well, but we're gonna talk about some shit, and like we usually do. And then of course, Thursday, guys, Thursday night on the Beeline Entertainment, me and Kyle will be back, and I believe we might have a special guest, and you guys will see who it is when she gets there. But yeah, we're doing nostalgia. We're gonna talk nostalgia night, man. I'm really excited about this nostalgia night. We're gonna be asking questions, similar to like figuring out like what would you be doing now if you didn't have your cell phone, like you did back in the '90s, or what I'm saying. Like it's gonna be a really interesting conversation. I already got some of the questions written out. Cal, man, how you feeling, man? Feeling
I'm
weird on
feeling
Tuesday?
I'm feeling good. I think tonight
Good,
was a very cool conversation. Sorry if I
awesome.
took over parts of it.
No, bro, why did I ask you to come on here? No, get out of here, Kyle.
This
I,
is-
I I want you to talk, bro. Like, yeah, I think people enjoy our dynamic, but I think we have two very and guys, listen, feel free to chime in and shit. But one thing that I do have learned since we've been doing an entertainment show together is we both have interesting perspectives. We both kind of come from different worlds,
yeah,
and I think it's good. We both also talk. You know what I'm saying? We
yeah,
both talk. Like we're not scared to talk.
no.
So don't never feel bad for talking shit. That's what we do. Microphones for.
Mm,
But what you got for A for Able, man? You got
man,
some new stuff coming out?
I got stuff I got stuff coming down the pipeline. I got three more episodes. I got three more episodes, and I formally invited you on. So at some point, very soon,
Oh yeah.
you and I will be having our talk about mental health and what it's like being a dad.
Yeah, I
Seriously,
can't wait.
you
I
know.
can't wait. It's gonna be an awesome episode, man. Definitely looking forward to it. And of course, we're gonna promote it everywhere, guys. I'm fully back in the building this week. We're getting all three shows. I know I was supposed to do it last week, but like I said, just had a little hiccup last week. But we're definitely back. This has been an awesome web show. Episode 138, man. Yo, we're almost hitting 150, guys. Also, Halloween and the holidays gonna be coming up soon. Like we're about to be done with August. Yo, you getting outside, bro, and you getting that little crisp
That
little
crisp
air.
air, that crisp breeze.
Woo,
Yeah.
shit.
Hmm.
I love this time of year, man. I love this time of year. But yeah, you're getting that little crisp feeling. So the weather's starting to change soon.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. But don't forget, guys, we will be at Dragon Con this Saturday. Your boy Brian B, come meet me. I'll have my Beeline stuff on. I'll be handing out business cards and I'll be conducting interviews. I got a list of I'll have a clipboard. I'll have a microphone. I'll be asking questions to the people that's walking around in their awesome costumes and cosplays, and hopefully we'll be able to go and see some celebrities and meet some cool people. But come meet us if you're in the Atlanta area and you're going to be around where Dragon Con is going to be held. Please come check out your boy Brian B so we can get you to know the Beeline Entertainment LLC. We're doing big things, man. I'm very excited, yo. But Kyle, you got anything left? Anything else for tonight?
Yeah, I say thank you for having me on tonight. You know what I'm saying? I know, usually us, we do nostalgia, we do, nerdy stuff, but occasionally we've also snuck a lot of serious chats in there too recently.
For
And
real.
it's just, it gets real out here. But
Does, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your perspective and everyone who has been chatting and chatting and supporting. Big ups to all y'all, and stay safe out there.
Definitely, definitely. You heard Kyle, man. I want you guys to also make sure that you stay true, stay positive, pay attention, and keep watching, man. Keep watching. We got a lot to talk about. But until then, good night, everybody. Have a great night, guys. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you head on over to the Beeline Entertainment LLC YouTube channel, where we have so much more for you. We have the Beeline Web Show on Tuesday nights, as well as Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk on Wednesdays, and of course, the Beeline Entertainment Show on Thursday night. Join us and make sure that you hit that like, hit that share, and of course, subscribe with that bell button for the notifications so you can make sure you're getting all the great content from the Beeline Entertainment LLC. Let's go!